rainy day and I'm bored and I want to film, but I didn't really know what to film, or at least I needed to go out to get some supplies for some of the other videos I had coming up. So this week is going to be a smidge different, but still keeping in that budget kind of do-it-yourself theme. And this video is going to be how I film on a budget. Basically, camera equipment can get very expensive, and I don't make any money from this, if that weren't obvious, but I definitely don't. And I think something that's really important for people who are really interested in media production, which is a lot of the reason I started this channel. I did a lot of multimedia projects in high school and in college. I was in the AV club and I did some broadcast journalism classes, so I really enjoy media production. But it's so difficult to get good products or good, I guess, programs for editing and all that. So I just kind of wanted to show you guys how I've managed to do all this with little to no money. And that's not at all saying that anything that I have is particularly professional, because I know it's not. This is the very definition of budget-friendly, cheap YouTube video creation, but there's definitely a way to do it, and I think my video quality has evolved a lot throughout the years, and I think I've learned a lot as well, so I want to take you guys through that, so let's do it. In my opinion, if there is one thing you should 100% invest in when it comes to media production, I would say a tripod, and that goes for the filming side of things. So I got this guy on Amazon for less than $20, and it came with a little cell phone stand because I do actually film with my cell phone. But this one has many different heights for a relatively inexpensive price. Before this, I was using one of the flexible bottom tripods that I got for I think $9.99 from CVS. And before that, even before all that, if we go down to my old drawer here, I actually used this selfie stick. And what I would do, just to make sure that my camera angles were straight and quite literally nothing like what I'm doing now, is I would stick my phone in it and I would sit it up straight and then set it on something flat and kind of like angle it down at whatever I was doing. In some of my early videos, you can totally tell this is what I'm doing. Or I would have it kind of like sitting right next to my work while I was painting right here or doing something else. But yeah, so having something to keep your camera angles steady, this I mean, you can get a selfie stick like this at Dollar Tree for $1. Or you can, if you have a little bit more money to spend but still are on a budget, I'd recommend at least getting a tripod like this or one of the little ones from CVS, just so you have a couple of different price points. The next thing that I pay a lot of attention to is lighting. So I don't have any professional light setups, and I actually don't even have any overhead lights in my new apartment. In my old apartments, I wouldn't mind sometimes turning on the lights, but then they can look really orange, and it looks like you're filming inside. Which isn't always the most attractive look. Normally you want to film in daylight, which is why I do all of my filming during the day. And you'll also notice I have these windows behind me, and that's actually putting all the light on the back of my head. So what I actually do is I have specifically set up my desk in my office to be facing away from the window so that whenever I need to film, you can see just by turning my body and having the light face my face, the lighting is immediately so much better. So I will set my tripod up right here in the middle of the room, and I will have it facing my desk here, and I'll move my chair that my darling cat is actually taking a cute little nap on. And I'll angle it this way, do all my work here so that I get all the natural light. And I always try, and I mean really try, to stop filming before the sun goes down, or rather before it starts kind of getting orangey outside. So I try to like end maybe like an hour before sunset just to be safe, but sometimes it doesn't always happen. Sometimes you can definitely tell that the light's setting in my videos. That's okay, I'm not a professional and I know it, and sometimes you just really want to get stuff done. Especially when you're not making any money off of this and you do have a weekly upload schedule. So definitely utilize as many windows as you can, have a nice open space that is available for you to have windows, and yeah, and another thing about lighting actually that I want to mention, right now you can see it's raining outside and it's kind of dull and dreary and I don't like it. But if it's like super bright and you have a super bright sun coming through your window, that's going to give you that kind of orangey light too. Normally you kind of like distilled light, which is why you see all those fancy like lights with the white sheet in front of them. If the sun is like directly coming into my window and is like shining on me and I have all these really bad shadows, then I'll normally just kind of shut the blinds, or I actually have a pair of white curtains that I have put in front of the windows in the past, just kind of like throwing them up there real fast. Sometimes I've even taped them if I was in a pinch. So yeah, just something to consider. Now for the editing, and I kind of lucked out on this one because I am technically trained in how to use iMovie, and I grew up doing Microsoft Movie Maker, I think that's what it's called, and I actually still have it on my computer for certain functions and features. But I have managed to kind of find a nice collection of different editing systems that do the different things I need it to do, if that makes sense. I actually did recently get a MacBook computer for work, so I do technically have access to iMovie, but I like it, it's okay. I've just never been much of an Apple person, and I've always had my PC on hand. So I do have Microsoft Movie Maker, which is no longer available on PCs anymore, but I actually did find a download off of the Microsoft website. So I use that for speeding up clips, slowing down clips, because the program that I have currently doesn't do it unless I pay money. But when I got my new laptop, which is a Toshiba Satellite, you can see her back here. I'm on Amazon right now looking for cases for that MacBook because I'm gonna break it. But what you need to do is find a laptop basically that comes with some programs already. Mine was on sale when I got it. Don't get me wrong, it was an expensive computer when I got it, but my logic is I'd rather spend, you know, $500, $700 on a good computer that's going to last me for a long time than pay $200 every year, every 2 years, because I keep buying crappy computers that are going to break on me, which is what I was doing before this. And so far, this laptop has lasted me almost 4 years for $700, and the two computers I had before that were $200, and the second one that I got of the bunch managed to break within 6 months. So definitely invest in a better computer. This is, I mean, it's like a behemoth. It doesn't need to be this big, but it works really great, and it came with a program called Power Director, and it's actually pretty good. It does a lot for you. It has some cool features as far as, you know, editing colors and, you know, flipping and inverting. The only thing that I wish it does, and I haven't totally found a good haven't found a good program for yet, is cropping videos. So like if I took a video like this for some reason and I just want to, like, you know, kind of make it only my face, I haven't figured out a good way to do that. Sometimes I just find apps for it if I find it super important and necessary that I do it right away. But yeah, so I have Power Director, Movie Maker, and I also found another program that I use to do green screen stuff. I've only ever done green screen videos once, and it was to show off a project, I guess. I think it was the emoji soaps, and if you watch that video you can tell that it is a total nightmare because I had also just gotten a new daylight lamp, but it wasn't diffused at all, so all the shadows were super harsh, and I was still learning, and I still am learning. But yeah, if you can find a computer that comes with a program already or find a cool program download, I would definitely encourage that. The other programs that I use for the green screen, before I forget, is VSDC Free Video Editor, and it also comes with a free screen recorder, which doesn't have any marks in the bottom corner. The only thing is sometimes it'll speed up or slow down your video and not sync with your audio for some reason. So that's just kind of something to keep an eye out for if you do use those programs, but those are the ones that I currently use and have worked for me with my little to no YouTube budget. And there you have it. Those are my tips and tricks, I guess, for how I managed to create and sustain this YouTube channel on a budget. Make sure windows are facing you. Make sure you have a good steady shot. Mine actually comes with a level on it. I'm very bad at using it. I know I should a lot more, especially because I have a pop socket on the back of my phone and it kind of interrupts with the angles sometimes. Finding a good free program that you like to use, and knowing that not editing is a huge part of it, but it's definitely not everything, and you don't need to have a bunch of fancy effects and fancy equipment and fancy lights to be able to do something. If you like media production, you will find a way to do it. I love media production. I mean, half the reason I'm even still doing this is because I never get to make videos anymore for any purpose. You know, I used to be able to do video projects and, you know, do stuff for broadcast journalism classes, but I haven't had that opportunity as of late, and I really enjoy it, and I really want to keep doing it. So while this channel is definitely not, you know, the biggest thing in the world, it does mean a lot to me, and it is definitely one of my favorite things to do on these rainy days when there's nothing else to do. So just know that there's always a way. You can do so many things on a budget, and you can hone so many skills without having tons and tons of money. And I don't think I ever will have a lot of money. I'm a teacher. That's as simple as it gets. So just do what you love, do what you gotta do, and, you know, make it work, because sometimes all you need is just a little something to kind of take your videos to the next level, like the tripod or a selfie stick in my case. So that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you saw, I do make new videos every Sunday. They come out every Sunday at noon. I almost said I make them every Sunday. I don't make them on Sundays. I normally film them in advance, but I digress. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next Sunday at noon Eastern Standard Time. See ya.